Papa?
Papa.
Come to Papi?
Hello and welcome back to the thing it is we do. This time featuring a special mystery man. Manu, you've changed.
Yes,
Very
I
much.
am a much browner. My name is Panu.
Manu,
Panu?
Introduce me. Give me a proper introduction.
introduce you. Okay, this is Riley and he does things. Yeah, that's the introduction I'm gonna give you. You introduce yourself.
Okay, I'll do an introduction for myself. Hello, greetings. Greetings, that's the same thing. I'm
You're
terrified.
like a thesaurus.
This is my first time being on camera.
He's nervous.
I'm so nervous right now.
Okay, proper introduction. Riley is our producer, and he's also Sophie's editor for the Joy Girl channel.
That's
and he
me.
edits the Blue Banana podcast. Everything you're seeing right now was chopped up by this dude guy.
Exactly. And how did I get that job? I also ask myself every day. Why?
Oh, because
We
we
asked
knew
that too.
you, and we knew what you could do, and then so we made you do it for us, I think, is
Thank
how
you.
it works.
In that order.
700 other editors could have done. I'm glad.
But we chose you, our dear friend Panu.
Panu.
Manu.
Panu's here.
I should say that we've broken up the Blue Banana formula now because we have 3 distinct colors. I really do like the red, although I dare say we look like the flag of Romania currently, with the blue, yellow, and red just in different orders. So, feeling very
Depends.
patriotic for Romania at the moment.
Yay.
Lucky you, Romanians.
It also reminds me of the Philippines. Represent blue,
I don't
red,
know
yellow.
the Philippines
Oh, yeah,
flag.
that's-
Really?
yeah.
Oh,
Actually-
it's beautiful.
That's very true, Riley. It's very patriotic of you. And for context, Panu here is a Filipino.
I guess. We are missing some white, though.
I mean, we have white here.
Don't worry, guys. I'll take care of the white. That's fine.
We should also actually mention that it's actually Riley who comments and responds to people's comments using the Blue Banana podcast, YouTube. I always see people ask who's actually replying and who's the one actually uploading and doing all of this, because for some reason they always expect that it's you, Liam. Have you noticed that?
I have, and I want to clear this up. Sometimes it is me. It's not just Riley. Sometimes I do go into the account and I'm like, yeah,
Yes.
I'm gonna like that. I'm gonna reply to that. But more often than not, it is you. But every now and then, it's me.
I think it's great that you mentioned that, Liam, because otherwise people would have felt less special if it's just some random common pleb was replying to their comments. But it's good. Once in a while, it could be Grand Line Review.
If you are that special someone.
We also trust Riley to comment on behalf of us because he knows, well, he doesn't really know Manu. None of us really know Manu that well.
That's why we replaced him.
We should say that Manu is currently taking a leave of absence due to being struck down with evil COVID.
The spicy flu.
Spicy flu's hitting us all. Sophie, you're next.
No, I was first.
No, you're gonna get it again.
No, I was
That's
first.
how the cycle goes. Yeah,
I
you were
was fir-
first, I was second, Manu third, now we go back to you.
And then we've ended. It's just the line. It's not a circle.
This is a bit of an impromptu episode because my absence, followed immediately by Manu's absence, has meant that we're a little bit bizarre scheduling-wise. So we thought this would be a fantastic opportunity to introduce you to the fourth banana, the behind-the-scenes banana.
I don't know which way I'm supposed to
Thank
be
you.
doing it. Ta-da!
I know.
Neither do I. I'm assuming he's taking Manu's spot, which I guess is over there.
Yes, but I still don't know where that is. But anyways, here we go.
Yes.
Red.
So it's a great point. Short notice. So, I know a lot of you guys have been requesting for us to invite a guest. Maybe, a famous YouTuber. Specifically One Piece YouTubers is the most requested ones.
So we ignored that.
Unfortunately, today you are stuck with this guy.
Yeah, this guy's pretty decent.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
Good luck to everyone involved.
Riley, would you like to explain the process behind what you do for our podcast?
Man, where do I begin? It starts with reminding everybody to upload their damn files.
That's referring to Manu and I in particular. We seem to alternate with who forgets to upload episode files every week, but it's definitely one of us.
This episode is just us shit talking about Manu, really.
Yeah, he can't defend himself. Why not?
We're gonna kick Manu whilst he's down. Whilst he's there hobbling in bed.
If you're watching this next week, I'll be like, fucking O'Reilly.
It's gonna be like that classic anime thing, like, is someone talking about me?
Oh, yeah, when he sneezes because
Yeah.
someone's talking about him, yeah.
Yeah, the process is pretty much everybody downloads their file into a folder. I mean, uploads it into a folder. I download them. I put them together. Honestly, half the time I still don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I think you're underselling what's happening there a bit. You are basically in charge of digital logistics. You coordinate all of us, you coordinate all the files, you mash them together into something viewable, because the raw stuff that we record is, in my opinion, not viewable.
I completely agree.
I love how good Liam is with his words. I mean, you're in charge of the logistics.
I'm trying to... And you
Yeah, I
keep
love
going.
it. No, I love it. I love it. I'm sorry, I don't want to ruin it. I'm just
We
Okay,
all
fine,
need a
you
Liam
get to
hype
the
man in
word.
our life.
teach me those words, man.
Yeah, Liam, can you explain what I do on this podcast?
No, what do you do?
She's the eye candy. Done.
I don't think that's the case.
According to some of the comments, yes.
But according to some of the comments, we're all eye candies.
Apparently,
That is true, yeah.
Hey.
There seem to be like different camps developing. I've been recently going through some of the comments for the past episodes though, and there's usually one or two commenting on Sophie's appearance, because you actually change quite radically. Sometimes you're wearing glasses, sometimes your hair is in a different
The
style.
hair,
And there's
yeah.
always someone who that hits who goes, damn, Sophie with messy hair. Oh.
My favorite one was like, Sophie with glasses? Jeebus!
Jesus.
I'll take that into account. Maybe I'll do things even more drastically from now on.
I think of the three of us, you're the one whose appearance changes the most from episode to episode.
Yes, I think the only other big change was when Manu shaved his beard.
Oh, that was weird. Don't do that.
Yeah, that was a wild
That was
episode.
insane. He looks like a toddler.
He had the haircut at the same time as well.
he did, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like proper baby face. Although I have done the opposite. I've grown a beard over the course of this podcast. If you go back to episode 1, I was the baby face.
The fresh.
You're still a baby face, even though you have a beard.
You're
if I'm being
baby
honest.
face just
A
hiding
shrouded
behind a
baby
mask.
face, yeah. Like a baby face in the bushes or something.
What does that mean?
Sounds dirty. Sounds somehow sexual.
It does sound dirty, so
Yeah.
it's very appropriate for this podcast then. Riley, how did we meet?
How did we meet? Well, I've been a fan of you since 2016. I believe that's when you started Grand Line Review.
Technically 2015, but the first video I posted was 2016, yes. Get your facts
Let's technically
right.
2016.
Obviously not a real fan.
How dare you? I was there before Grand Line Review hit 1 million.
I guess speaking of not a real fan, I imagine you're subscribed to the channel, right?
I'm
I
not.
imagine you'd be a subscriber if you were a fan of what I did, yeah?
It's a thing, all right?
Here's the thing, yeah?
Like, since I wasn't there, you know what I mean? I wasn't there at like the 10,000K. I thought I'd like the honor to be the 1 million subscribers.
At the time of this recording, Grand Line Review has, I'm just refreshing it, 998,790 subscribers. So you are going to have to be on your toes from now.
Quick maths.
I guess I would say for the next 48 hours.
I'm gonna have to be on my phone. I'm going to a box this weekend as well. It's my mate's bachelor's
Priorities,
party.
Riley. Priorities.
Yeah.
Better yet, get the stripper to subscribe to the Grand Line Review for consistent injections of One Piece culture.
So whilst
I'll
the
be
stripper is, dancing around, you can be like,
Excuse me, Charity. I need to
Charity.
subscribe right now.
But if you booked her already, know her name.
they're on first name basis.
If you spin a wheel, there's a higher chance that the stripper's name would be Charity. Based on the movies that I've seen.
Ah,
Oh, yeah.
movies.
Yeah. Your films, yes.
Yeah.
Your film collection, yeah.
I'm a film connoisseur.
You're like 2 terabyte hard drive of films.
Terabyte. Mate.
You
Minor
don't know the
league.
half of it.
That's the half of it. 2 terabytes.
I have to say, Liam, you shouldn't be that offended about Riley not being subscribed to you because he edits Joy Girl videos. And he's also not subscribed to the Joy Girl channel. So obviously he doesn't even think the work that he does maybe doesn't deserve the subscribe.
Yeah, that must be a bit demoralizing.
Yeah.
Also waiting for the million there, or...
Just like how I want to be the 1 million subscriber for Liam, I want to be the 100,000 subscriber.
You could have been the first. Yeah. It's your channel. It's the one you work on.
It's true. I didn't think of that.
Who was the first Joy Girl subscriber?
Probably me. Isn't that how it works? I think YouTube automatically subscribes to you.
I think the first 7 subscribers was Sophie.
Yeah, it's probably me on like 1,000 different accounts.
So that's how you got your first 1,000.
Definitely my first 3 or 4, I think.
Anyway, continuing how I met Liam. So I was a fan.
Was.
Yeah, they say never meet your heroes. You know?
Yeah. No. So disappointing.
I was. So it's a one-sided, I know him, he doesn't know I exist. This will lead on to like how Sophie started the channel because Sophie and I actually met Liam at the same time. We rocked up at his house.
I had allowed this prior. They didn't just show up. Please don't just show up.
Yes, sorry, it wasn't random.
Yeah, Liam doesn't appreciate people just rocking up unannounced.
Or even announce. Just don't rock up.
Anyway,
we
it leads
did
to Sophie. How did we start the channel?
Riley and I used to work together, and I think I have shared this on the podcast before because I've told everyone how I got into One Piece, and everyone should actually be, all One Piece fans anyways, should be thanking Red here for my entry into the One Piece fandom because Riley and I used to work together. We had another friend, a very dear friend of ours who also was really into anime and One Piece, and they used to talk about it all the time, and I was always in the dark. We're a bit of a lunch buddy system going on. One day I remember Riley was just super excited about a chapter, and it was a chapter where Roger laughed and named it Laugh Tale. And obviously, that's a huge news for the fan base because, it just changes the name of an island, changes what we knew, like completely flips it on his head.
It's probably one of the most iconic pieces of artwork in all of One Piece now. It just immediately
I would agree.
got enshrined.
Most recognizable.
Yeah, for sure. And I remember he was just going crazy about it. And I remember thinking, like, if there is a series that makes a grown-ass man this excited at work,
Jump around the
then
kitchen.
this is, jumping around in the office kitchen, then this is a series worth, getting into. And so that's how I got started. And then I remember one time we were having lunch together and he was actually watching one of your videos, Liam. And that's how I got introduced to your channel because he was watching your video. And then I thought, people do this? And people do this as a living? I want to do that. And he was like, you should do that.
What exactly happened was I was like, oh my God, I think I want to do this. And then she was like, I want to do that. I was like, you should do it.
So how long did it take
I'll help you out.
from you having that thought to actually starting the channel?
Oh, it took a longer time because I didn't actually start until it's the start of COVID and the start of the lockdown because of COVID. And then I actually had a lot more time because I was working from home, wasn't going into work, wasn't going into uni, wasn't seeing anyone. So it did take a while.
So if COVID never happened, is it possible that you never would have started Joy Girl?
Oh yeah, I would say so.
I bring that up because I've gotten to a scale where I can't really hide what I do from friends and family anymore. And immediately after they find out that, oh, you're a YouTuber, you can make a living off that, they have the exact same idea. They're like, I want to do that. I have an amazing channel idea. And the thing that I tell them is the most important thing is to drop everything you're doing right now and create the account. Because if you don't do that, what's going to happen is they're going to go away, the dream's going to kind of gradually vanish, and it'll never happen. So if you do want to be a YouTuber, you take that first step immediately, or it'll just probably never happen.
Yeah, just fade into the background. I would agree with that.
Sorry, I derailed your story.
And that's okay. It's not even just YouTube, right? I think it's any idea that you have. Yes. You have to be proactive and you have to start it at that moment because then otherwise it just sort of sits at the back of your head and your dreams sort of just, I don't know, fade away.
I think a lot of people get stuck in the analysis paralysis state where they're like, oh, I can't start because I've got to research it and I've got to learn things. No, just start. You'll be shit, but just start because it's better than not starting and then you can learn as you're doing.
I can definitely relate to that. I've wanted to start a YouTube channel
for as long as I've known you.
A few years now, exactly. Yeah, I think Liam and I have gotten back and forth with this so many times because I keep asking him on what to do, how to start, and he's given me probably all the tips he could have given me.
And yet,
but here's my debut.
Here's your debut.
Hey.
When are we starting the actual Riley channel? Joy Boy Theories or something. Oh wait.
We're at the final saga now. I think it might have been too late for me to actually come in and, start a One Piece related channel. I mean,
that's an interesting discussion. Is it too late? I'm not sure. I think if you were to start right now, you could build something in the next 3 to 4 to 5 years.
The very uncertain amount of time that we have
But you need to start right now.
Exactly.
Yes, I would agree. And I mean, you would actually be perfectly positioned to start right now because you could bypass all the mistakes that people like Liam and I have, experienced not knowing what to do because you've been around the channel for so long. So all the crappy mistakes that I did on Joy Girl.
The reason why I think the way I think is because I feel like when I watch people's content and, in terms of analysis or people are going to say, I don't really feel like sometimes that I have something new to offer that people haven't already said yet. And I don't want to just go through a lot of people's sort of content just to really try to be different from what they're doing.
Interesting. Sophie, How did that impact you? Because you also had the disadvantage of being extraordinarily new to One Piece. So did that kind of weigh on your mind as you were starting the channel? Like, is there a bit of imposter syndrome where you get
Yeah. I don't know about you, but I think I definitely even still feel that even now. But I think my difference, or I think what I try to bring into my channel is just really the love and joy, like just pure happiness that I don't think is as prevalent or at least as prominent in other channels. I mean, everyone starts a One Piece related channel because they love the series, but I don't think their whole channel is as focused or revolves around just celebrating and just being so excited about the series as I am. And I think I have the benefit of being a relatively new One Piece fan and not being quite as jaded and not, feeling the, even with the Wano arc, I think a lot of people were like, getting sick of it. And I hear that that's something that happens for most people in every long arc that had happened in Whole Cake Island and Dressrosa. People just get a bit burnt out.
Fishman Island.
Yeah, that people just get burnt out. Whereas because Wano was the first arc that I was reading on a weekly basis, I'm like, holy crap, this is great. Yeah. And so, it's not fake. It's not just like I'm putting on this excitement for the channel. Like, it's just genuinely how happy I am because it's a great series.
I think you're in a very great position as well because this is the first time that you're watching, you get to react with everybody on the big events that are happening. Whereas like someone like me who's like been around for a long time, I've been a part of that roller coaster ride. You know what I mean? I think I'm guilty of this as well, that sometimes I feel like I'm always expecting for big things to happen week by week.
Yeah, and that can particularly let you down during the midsection of arcs where you're kind of plodding along at a regular pace, and the big things happen at the beginning and at the end, and then there's this middle section that you just gotta kind of power through on a weekly basis. Sophie has this, I'm going to call it a Luffy-like perspective. You are very new to this world and everything you see is like, wow, it's a thing. I enjoy that. And you're very happy. Riley, you are the lurking legend who has been in this world for so long and has also a different perspective of it. So there's definitely something you could potentially offer there.
And you've got the editing skills, so
I don't have the time.
I'm sorry. I can start editing more of my Joy Girl videos to take that out.
Sophie,
off
you edit Riley's videos, and we have a bit
there
of
we
a
go.
cross thing.
I don't think that's a good trade-off for Riley. I don't think he would want that. If you look at the Joy Girl channel, you can very much tell which videos have been edited by Riley and which videos have been edited by me, because my videos are very lazy.
I think that's the same with me. I think you can always tell which videos were done by one of my editors as opposed to the ones that were done by me.
How long into your channel actually till you started hiring an editor, Liam?
Long time. I don't think I had an editor for Grand Line Review until maybe like 2020, like late 2019, early 2020. So 3 or 4 years into the process. It was a game changer though. Working with amazing editors, it makes me want to kind of reach their level, which I never will, but I'm slowly getting better at it because for the videos that I edit, I want to maintain that quality as best I can. So it's seeing other people's takes on what I do has been very beneficial to me because I get to see their techniques. I get to go, oh, that's a great idea. Why don't I just do that? And then I can build on that and do something similar. And it's been a great evolution.
I do as well try to upskill and make sure that my videos look as schmick as when Riley does it, when Riley can't edit my videos, but there's still, I think, a very clear difference. And props to Riley, because Riley wasn't an editor before I actually started to ask him to edit my videos. It's just that I am just so technologically inept that I was like, you're better. Can you just do it? You were there when I decided that I wanted to do this thing. You can help me with this. But yeah, like you can really tell that Riley's really improved as well, and his editing is just a lot of people comment on it as well. So
what is your process with editing, Riley? Do you get like Sophie's script beforehand and do you start preparing materials, or do you just get dumped with the video that Sophie's recorded and have to go, I need to find things for this?
A little bit of both, really. When I do get it and I haven't looked at the script, it's not entirely Sophie's fault per se, because that could be like, I just didn't have the time to look at the script before I started editing the video. So I have to do it very last minute, which is something that I really do quite a lot. My life's like very chaotic.
Sounds very
So-
chaotic. It would drive me insane. What I did when I was first editing for myself is I spent 6 months building a one-piece image library. So I went through every episode in the series, got screen caps from them, labeled them all by character, by arc, and it took a long time, but it really helps down the line with that sort of last minute stuff where I go, I need a shot of Luffy, type in Luffy, and I've got all my Luffys. Like, oh crap, I'm talking about any slobby, type in that. I've got shots from that entire arc.
Yeah.
Do you have like a library system like that, or do you
Yes, yeah.
have to source new material each and every time?
Same thing, yeah, a little bit of both. So I am building up a library now. It's massive. I think it's about I think it's almost like 100 gigabytes now, actually, worth of videos and photos.
Oh, videos as well. That makes sense.
Yeah, a lot of it is screen recording. So when I do have time, and Sophie hasn't sent me anything, and I just rewatch the series, and then if there's a scene that I feel like I could use as part of the video, then I'll just record it on the spot. Yeah, and I do mostly a lot of them would mostly be iconic scenes that I like.
Yeah.
I don't know how when it's gonna come out. I was actually thinking if Sophie was going to make a video this week or anytime soon, I was going to suggest, because I recently rewatched Impel Down, and there's the video of the clip of Crocodile. You know when he went out, when he was like Hisashi Buridana.
Yeah, except you got to do it with the more gruff voice. Hisashi buridana.
Hisashi Buridana.
So,
I love that laugh. He's my absolute favorite villain. So I was actually gonna suggest to Sophie that it's hey, when you come up with a new Crocodile video, I was thinking, you could start it with this.
I just did a crocodile video.
You did. You spoiled the fan base with your crocodile video in retrospect. Sophie basically made a video saying that Crocodile will return and Buggy will be the reason why. And then Crocodile returned and Buggy is the reason why. Stop spoiling, Sophie.
Yeah, stop it, Sophie.
It doesn't count. It doesn't
Your
count.
future sight is too powerful.
Yeah, well, what can I say? I mean, now I want to go back and we can add that clip again. Maybe re-release the same video with just that new clip and be like, it's been confirmed.
Yeah, but no, you were awarded what I believe the kids call a dub or a W.
A dub?
I
A
don't know.
W.
W.
Yeah.
Do you find that you learn more slang as you're in the YouTube business? Because I feel like I've learned a whole lot of new slang being in the YouTube business. I remember when I first started streaming and people were putting L's in the chat, L's and W's, and I was like,
Yeah.
why are they doing this? What does this mean?
Wolfie.
Yeah, right? Yeah, right? Boy girl?
Boy
why am
girl.
is that a typo? Why am I boy girl?
Boy whirl.
Yeah.
Boy world, that's it.
I do. It does keep me very much up to date with what's happening with the youth, whereas otherwise I would be completely disconnected.
Keeps me young.
When you guys are writing the script, do you guys feel like you have to match your audience's language?
I probably wouldn't have a career if I had to match my audience's language, because I think one of the big advantages of me is that I have my own way around English and my own various lexicons, or lexicon, singular.
Out of everyone that I know, I think you have the best grasp of English. Logistics.
I
Yeah.
do know words. I do know English words. And that does help when I'm writing. I will say that.
It's impressive.
Thank you.
I wonder how you react if someone farts in front of you. You just be like, flatulence.
Pungent.
Pungent. This smell.
Rather pungent flatulence, sir.
That expelled out of your anus.
Yes, exactly. Oh, I love the word expelled.
If you guys could pick one type of hockey, which one would it be? I know Liam will say hardening.
Armament. No, I think I'd actually prefer observation to armament, but I'm tossing up between conquerors and observation. I'm not sure which I'd prefer.
That's a really
What would
hard
come
question.
in handy in real life scenarios?
I think observation would be the most handy, have the most utility behind it. Conquerors, though, it would give you a presence when you walk into a room.
That's it.
I think I'd go with observation though. I think observation utility wise, I think observation wins in everyday life.
I think
I
so.
agree.
Observation, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, armament could work, but it's mostly just, I need to do something with a heavy thing, or I need to destroy something. But
Yeah.
observation's it gives you this amazing understanding of your surroundings and potentially
Exactly.
of people, because you can use
Yeah.
it to read emotions and stuff.
That's
Exactly.
true. Although with hardening, you can never disappoint the ladies. So.
You can. You could get too hard and destroy things.
Yeah, it could be too much.
Yeah.
Destroy things, yeah.
Could become painful.
Especially if you add some gears on top of that.
Elastic.
Cool.
Alright, so I just realized we never actually finished the story of how we met. Basically, what you guys said is we rocked up in front of your house and then we moved on. I'm sure there is more to that.
Isn't that all we need?
It's not, because we need to mention that this was around my birthday, so I guess we're actually coming up to the anniversary of you rocking up to my house very shortly,
Our
actually.
2-year anniversary.
Is it only 2 years?
2 years of friendship. Is it 3 now?
I feel
three.
like it might be.
No, I think it's 2.
Really?
No, it's 2. It's 2.
The Joy Girl channel is still relatively young. It was 2020.
2 years. It feels like a lot longer.
Funny enough, we all met around COVID, but yet I think I've hanged out with you guys more than I've hanged out with my other mates.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Like in
Absolutely.
person.
I think so too. I think we've had a lot of mixing lots of business and pleasure.
A lot of that.
You make it sound so erotic.
A lot of pho, a lot of food, a lot of frangos.
A lot of snow cheese fried chicken, Korean barbecue. Speaking of food, though, so
Yes.
the point that I wanted to get to with this whole birthday thing is I assume that wanting to make a good impression, you provided me with a full birthday cake in the shape of the Grand Line Review logo when we first met, which was very touching and nice.
Oh, well, I'm glad that you liked it. But I think you hinted that you wanted it, Liam. I don't think it was
Did
just
I?
out of
No.
our generosity.
That
I
doesn't
know.
sound
I
like
think-
something.
I
If I
think
did, it
Liam
would
was
have been
like-
as a joke.
No, I'm only kidding, of course.
Until we got to your place and realized that Chantel is
I
gluten-free.
know your wife
Yeah.
couldn't eat the cake.
I'm like, oh.
Did you eat that whole cake
so
by
sorry.
yourself? That was a big cake.
I ate about 75% of it because there was only so much that I could consume per day. And eventually there became a point where the cake was just like stale in the fridge. And I was like,
Yeah.
this is unfortunate, but you know, good innings.
That's fair enough.
Good
It's
news.
very fair.
Yeah, no, my wife is gluten intolerant, as are both of you, I believe.
I definitely am.
Oh, I was.
Past tense, you're recovering
I've
intolerant.
decided
You
I'm not
were?
anymore.
It's okay.
Decided.
Yeah, one day I just woke up and be like, you know what, bread is good.
Why don't you just do that, Sophie?
Yeah, why don't I just decide that I'm not gluten free, that I'm gluten intolerant anymore?
Then we can all head to KFC.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow I'll just decide that I'm not gluten intolerant anymore.
You start getting patches. Like I still have the patches of my alopecia. I really should avoid gluten. I started with like 7 patches before, and now there's only 2 left.
Wow, that's fascinating.
Maybe you should decide to be gluten intolerant again.
I know, I probably should, yeah.
But going back to birthday cakes, I guess being touched, I suppose that's the reason why you have gifted us with birthday presents recently, because
Oh, yes!
Riley and
Oh,
I
did
are
you not
both
open those?
July
Reminds
babies.
me. No, I have not opened my present.
Oh.
I have not opened my present either.
Ah!
think these were going to be on camera.
Well,
We're having
it
an
is now.
unboxing. Do we have your permission to unbox?
You do? Can I just say I'm not necessarily a cheap fuck because of not wrapping the presents and just giving them to you in the Amazon packaging they arrived in.
Didn't think of that at all. Just
Yeah, didn't
grateful
think
to
of
get
Think
it
of
a
that.
present.
So a little bit of context as to what these are. I've known the two of you for apparently 2 years now, and I wanted you to get something. I wanted for me to get you something that was not One Piece related. And I don't know the two of you well enough to know which of these suits the other better. They're very similar. So I actually let the two of you choose your present. As Sophie chose the bag, Riley chose the box. So you may proceed to unbox away.
All right. What's in the box?
Riley, you're so refined. I'm just doing this like a barbarian, just using my hands, and you brought.
I've got a
fork.
knife. That's not a
Crikey.
knife.
I don't suggest that you show the knife like that on YouTube.
Yeah, don't turn the box around either.
Reverse blade.
Properly wrapped.
Yeah, what is this?
It is legitimately in the packaging, the transit.
Liam! Oh my god!
Oh!
Yeah, it's that thing that you like.
Hey, you got a slam. Do I get one? I can't get to mine yet.
No! Oh, Jesus. What is
I
this?
should have brought a knife.
Some
Not a
barbarian
bubble
you
wrap.
are.
I know.
Sophie, just open one of the other parts, not the gaff.
I would have honestly been wiped out if I was a Neanderthal.
Yeah, so this was also a bold maneuver because you're quite a figurine collector. So I had no idea if you actually had any of these or if these were good. I feel like a parent. I sort of understand what my children are interested in, but I don't have the in-depth knowledge to go, this is the good thing, etc. So I was just like, slam dunk, they like that. Maybe. Sophie, you eventually have something similar, provided you can.
It's okay. Slam Dunk doesn't have that much wide range of characters, so it's really hard to go wrong with it. It's not like One Piece when you tell your mom you like One Piece and then she comes back with I don't know,
She got me a
Helmeppo
crocodile
figure.
pop figure for Christmas because it just had One Piece on the box. She was like, One Piece, it had it on the box. That's what my mother sounds like. And yes, you do, because I know that my mother listens to these podcasts occasionally.
Does she really? My sisters started recently watching this podcast.
Oh no.
Like, they watch frequently now. Both of them
Really?
started binging our episodes because my younger sister unfortunately contracted the spicy flu, and my older sister is recently gave birth and has been staying at home looking after her newborn.
Congratulations, older sister.
Not congratulations for COVID, younger sister.
Well, that's why I didn't congratulate.
Yeah, so in their spare time whilst they're at home, they've been watching our episodes.
That's really cool, but bizarre.
Yeah, I thought so too.
So what happens is my mother will watch these episodes and then I'll get a text or something about something I've said, just completely out of the blue.
Some raunchy thing you've been saying.
No, she doesn't comment on the raunchy things that we say. It's I got a lot when we did the school episode though, because that was something she was obviously very involved in. I think I mentioned on the podcast once that I never miss an opportunity to go to the bathroom, and she was like, "Yes, I taught you well. Never miss a chance."
That's great.
It is, although it just gives me flashbacks to all of the horrible things I've said on this podcast.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I don't think I'd like my parents watching my podcast.
Oh yeah, we
Watching
should
the
get Mr. and Mrs.
Joy
Sophie
Mom.
watching.
Dude, this is the coolest freaking thing.
That
Look
is
at this.
really cool.
Check it out.
That's cool, Riles.
That's pretty cool.
Look at
Mine
that.
is headless.
It comes with a replacement like
This
head
is
as well.
so gruesome, so gory. I love it.
Well, that's what you use as the basketball.
When he shaved his head, comes with a ball and an extra pair of Jordans. This is cool.
So what I really
extra
like
pair of
about
Jordans.
yours, Riley, is the slam dunk letters in the background. Like from a
Yeah.
set perspective, I really enjoy it.
Oh, mate. Thanks, Liam.
Whereas Sophie's, in my opinion, is the one that looks cooler because there's the jacket and everything.
Oh,
Bag.
a jacket.
And you get a little bag too, yeah.
Yeah, there's a little bag. Shahoku.
Knowing nothing about Slam Dunk, do the two of you actually like the redhead dude?
Sakuragi.
Sophie's favorite character.
That is my
good.
favorite. He is my favorite character. He was who I centered my video around for Manu, and Manu did that collab with
Oh, yeah,
different One
yeah.
Piece YouTubers about favorite anime characters. I decided to be a bit different and not go down the One Piece route.
My one comes with a jacket as well.
Oh, okay. Take back everything I said about Sophie's being cooler then.
Oh, and there's spoilers. Spoilers for people who haven't watched Slam Dunk, but it comes with both hairstyles.
No. Sophie has this really, I would say, pretty awesome figure with like a
I
rounded
think
base,
I would say
right?
so too.
Yeah, I got those for your birthdays because you both have birthdays around the same time.
Yes.
I mean, yes, they're both in July.
But like they're very close to each other. They're in very quick succession.
like a week
Yeah.
apart.
A
And
little
then
bit more than
you're
a week.
a couple of weeks after, which is like makes us all Leo. This is a Leo
We're all Leo
podcast.
babies. Yeah, this is
Yay.
the Leo podcast today.
It's true. And the Australian podcast.
The
We're all in the
Australian.
same time zone for a change.
We're all in the
That's
same
very
country. In fact, in the same state, and we're still
Same
doing
city.
this by same city. We're still doing this by
All
Zoom.
by distance, yes. We did actually consider, like, since we are all in the same country, in the same city, like, should we do a real life thing? But the here's your word, Riley. The logistics
The
didn't quite
logistics.
work out. It's a lot more difficult than you'd think to set up a set with all the mics and lights and just have it look good, especially since none of us could monitor the cameras or anything. Just ended up being easier, in my opinion, to do it the standard way. But we would like to do something like that in the future.
When Manu
especially
makes
if
it to
Manu
Australia.
ends up, going down under.
Yeah.
Or if we
Or if
end
we're all
up
in the
going
same
up
country.
over.
That would be fun. I can't wait to meet Manu in person.
Yeah, I have a feeling he's going to be very tall.
Yeah, he talks.
Maybe
a-
not compared
yeah,
to you.
He's similar to your height, isn't he, Riley?
He did say we are the same height.
I'm
Giants.
just gonna be the shorty.
So I think we're about the same, just about 6 feet, I guess.
It's alright, Sophie, you're there to make me feel better.
Wow. I don't know how to stand him. Oh, there we go. Feels a little unstable
This
and I
is so
feel a
cool.
little worried. But thank you, Liam. This is so cool.
You're
so
very
cool.
welcome.
All right, I think this has become too wholesome of an episode. So what I'm going to need is, Riley, I need you to spill the tea now. As our editor, I need you to spill the tea. Is there anything you'd like to share about your podcast editing experience that people may like to know and they don't yet know?
Who's the most painful to work with?
Oh,
That Liam guy.
that Liam guy right there. Oh, mate, no, Manu, definitely, 100%. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it.
But he's an
No.
easy target.
Because it's not he. And I was like, I don't want to say bad things to you guys because I'll get in trouble. No, it's not that bad. He's all right. It's really fun when I'm when I'm editing you guys, because like, you know, I'm a fan of all your content, so it's really great for me to like see you guys interact together. It's just really like a fan doing like editing the show for you guys.
Riley, this is lovely and all, but Sophie didn't want wholesome.
Yeah, I asked you to spill the tea.
Okay. Manu's too fidgety. Sophie, stop the And Liam, talk more.
Talk more. Okay,
Yeah,
I wasn't
speak
expecting
more.
that. I would have thought you'd get annoyed because of how much I like breathe into the microphone and make you take it out.
Actually, I noticed you started doing that a lot lately. I don't know if it's like because with Audacity, but I do hear that like a lot now. It didn't used to
It
be
was
like
always happening. You've just only started noticing it now.
that. Maybe because you pointed it out as well.
Yeah, I've been
yeah.
noticing it from the beginning, but I've been like, oh, that's a lot of work. Because, you know, the microphone's right here, and you probably heard it just then when I took a breath. I don't know why. You two don't have that problem. Is it because of how you use the microphone that you just don't end up breathing into it? Or am I just
I
a
don't think
very
so.
heavy breather?
I don't actually know how that works because I notice it when I do Joygirl videos that my breathing is extremely loud. But now that you mention it, I don't notice it during the podcast as much. But maybe that's because Riley takes it out for me.
I definitely don't notice it from the two of you. I definitely notice it from me, though. Something else I feel I need to apologize for is I am probably, maybe not now, but I'm probably the worst offender when it comes to coughing. Every now and then I'll just go, which is something that you also need to edit out.
Yeah, I've done
Alright,
that a few times this episode.
Those ones were easy, but lately though you've had COVID, so it's like sometimes I really just mute it.
Wait, but what just happened there?
Are you alright?
Sakuragi got beheaded.
Hooray!
I did say that he felt a bit unstable there, but I caught him just in time. I caught him.
I have a question for the two of you, having brought up Slam Dunk. You're both basketball enthusiasts, is that correct?
Yes, we are.
Mine.
I am.
Were you fans of basketball before Slam Dunk or after? And you
Yes.
like read the manga or watched the anime and then went, the ball sport, that's kind of cool.
Personally, my experience is I've always loved basketball. So since when I was a kid, I've always been watching it. And for me to see a basketball like anime, that was like a really big thing for me. And when Slam Dunk finished, like I actually started looking for other basketball animes, and some of them just weren't really quite as good. Like there's this, I don't know if you guys have ever heard this anime called Dear Boys or something, but I think that I don't remember it like much, but I think it's about basketball, but it's like a very, very close secondary theme. It's like it's a love story kind of.
Oh,
I don't know.
sports love. That's
I
an
might just be
interesting blend.
misremembering that as well. Obviously, Kuroko no Basket was probably the closest best basketball anime next to Slam Dunk.
I've actually tried watching that. It kind of lost me after a few episodes. Really like the concept of like the invisible player who's the best on the court setting everything up. I don't know why. It didn't stick with me though. I think I got like 7 or 8 episodes in and it just vanished into the back of my mind.
What I like about Slam Dunk is because like with Kuroko, like Kuroko has his own like skill, even if it's just the lack of presence. The good thing about Slam Dunk is you go along with the character's journey because he knows zero shit about basketball. So it literally starts as like they're going to explain to you how basketball is played, the rules, and you see it from the main character's perspective.
So kind of like Hinata from Haikyuu, who starts as
exactly.
this like absolute zero and introduces you to the world of volleyball from ground up.
Yeah, but Hinata is a more experienced player than the main character. The main character honestly starts playing basketball at the very first chapter.
Yeah, like he had no knowledge of it whatsoever, whereas Hinata actually at least had a passion for volleyball.
He did beg the girls team to let him play.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas Sakuragi didn't have a love for the sport and only develops it throughout the series. And that's, I think, why I really enjoyed the series, because I'm also relatively new to playing basketball. I'm not very good. So I actually watched Kuroko no Basket first because obviously that's a series that came out more recently, whereas Slam Dunk is a series that came a bit before my time. And so I hadn't actually watched it or heard of it even. And I watched Kuroko no Basket, and then Riley was like, oh, actually, there's a really good basketball anime that you should watch, Slam Dunk. And I watched it, and as someone who isn't great at basketball, I really could relate to Sakuragi's character, really learning about the sport more and actually developing my love for the sport. I mean, I would say I was more experienced in the sport than Sakuragi was, even though I'm a less talented player. I already had a love for the the sport, but really appreciating it on a different level and actually learning about it, from the perspective of Sakuragi's character. Such a great series. Liam, you really have to get into it.
I'd love to read it. You can't find the manga anywhere for sale.
Oh, the artwork is phenomenal.
That's the beauty of Slam Dunk as well, the artwork. You could actually see the improvement from chapter 1. It's very, very, very different from what it will look like in the later arcs. Ino's artwork really improved throughout the series.
Is Slam Dunk, I feel like I may have heard this, and this might be a different series. Is Slam Dunk the manga where the final chapter just has no dialogue at all? Is that something that I've heard?
It was the final game. It wasn't the entire thing, but pretty much the final game, down to, the last second, crunch time, for those basketball enthusiasts. Yeah, so there's an entire chapter where there's no sound, but it's so intense. You can feel the intensity just purely through Ino's artwork. It was just crazy good. Like
that feels pretty impressive to just do that through visual alone.
Mate, like I could feel like the goosebumps rising higher and higher as I flip through the pages. Like I've never had that experience about like any sort of media like before. It was absolutely phenomenal. Like I love it.
Again, I'd love to read it like properly with books and everything, but Slam Dunk is not for sale in English.
Yeah, I told you guys that how I've bought Slam Dunk volumes that have just never arrived.
Unfortunate. And you two play basketball as well.
Yeah, we were actually on the same team a couple of times. Like we joined a mixed competition together. Fun fact, very first team that we put together where Sophie and I were teammates. Sophie scored the very first basket for our team. And I was in the bathroom when it happened, so I missed it.
Was it a dunk?
Yes.
It was a jump shot, wasn't it? No, yeah, she did a windmill. Like a windmill 360 behind the back between the legs.
Nicely done. You must have looked like such a boss on the court for that moment.
Looked like I had special powers like Kuroko no Basket.
Well, I was going to bring up, I have a similar story from high school. I actually played basketball for 4 or 5 years, somewhere around there in high school, because you had to do compulsory sport. And at the beginning of every year, you would have a sort of tryout phase so that they could determine which team you were in. There were like 10 teams on a scale of like A, B, C, D. In this particular case, I started on the court, and about 15 seconds into the game, I took a 3-point shot, like out of absolutely nowhere, just because I was like, I have the ball, I'm going to throw it, and swish, straight through the net. Complete luck, no skill. And I was immediately taken off court and assigned one of the upper level teams because somebody foolishly assumed that I was actually good at the game. And for that entire semester, I struggled because everyone on my team was just so much better than me.
So you pretty much buggied yourself all the way to the top team?
I absolutely buggied myself into prominence.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. Why are you not on my team, Liam?
We just got a mixed team.
We shoot around with Liam before.
No, we haven't.
No, we haven't.
Oh, that was the arcade.
Oh, yeah. We've been to the arcade.
We've been to the arcade.
basketball
You guys don't
game
remember our
arcade.
memories? Oh, they're very dear to me.
Yeah, we did go to an arcade and we did play the basketball game.
Yes, I remember being rubbish.
Is that one that's extremely high? And I always struggle because I actually have to really try as if it's an actual court. You know how there's the ones that are like 4 side by side?
Yeah, like little...
They tend to be a lot closer and you can sort of just play around with that. It's an actual arcade game.
It was just level to my head.
Yeah, and then there's another one where it's actually like, holy shit, I'm having to shoot for real. I have to like get my legs into it and everything.
Yeah, me too. And sadly, I don't have my high school luck. I'm really pathetic at those.
Riley's a good shooter.
I'm alright.
And judging by his
Shoot your
score that
shot.
day, yeah, he is.
I'm alright.
Pretty good.
Nah.
That's
Dig
probably
Just
a
being,
good place.
guys being too humble. He's being too humble. Come on.
Nah, the dig
Come on,
eating is
Russ.
crazy.
Come on, Russ.
I'm alright.
Now, lady and gent, I need to bring up something very, very important because usually on this podcast, I am the designated old man. I get flooded with all of the old commentary. Thank you, Sophie. But on this very special occasion, I am actually not the oldest one in the room.
God
Is
damn
that
it.
true,
I
Ryan?
knew this would come up. I'm only here to make you look young, isn't it?
That's right. In exchange, you get to make me look short when we stand side by side. But
Yeah. All right. Fair trade. Fair trade.
it's true. I feel rather youthful today in a way that I don't normally on these podcasts.
Thank you. I'm glad I've served that purpose.
Would you like to explain what century you were born in?
I am 23 years old with about 10 years of experience. I am born in the 80s, much like Liam. I think we can leave it at
What?
Very different parts of
Yeah,
the 80s.
what?
first episode and you're revealing my age.
Absolutely, age reveal after the face reveal.
Oh, you gotta take it easy on me.
Yeah, I thought we were going to take him gently.
Straight into the deep end.
Every year it just gets harder. The bones just get I don't know,
Creakier.
weaker. Exactly.
What percentage of dust are you currently?
Right now, 69. It's the only percentage that counts.
Good percentage.
I love it. Really? That's all we're gonna say?
What? You made it awkward. Yeah. Riley and I actually have a lot more in common because we were born in that same decade. So we remember a lot of things that Sophie and Manu can't quite identify with in their youthful,
Youngs.
undeveloped brains still.
Young bloods.
In our exuberance, our youthful exuberance.
Exuberance is not the word I would use.
Immature.
Wow. Wow.
No, that's too harsh. That's too harsh.
Sure. But Riley, how was it when color TV came out?
Oh, mate, it was
How was it when the TV came out?
honestly, I'm not even lying because I grew up in a third world country, right? So like really technology was like very late. Our first TV, remember that one where you have to slide it?
Slide
No.
it.
So this TV,
I didn't even know
this
that
TV had a
existed.
door. Honestly, the TV had a sliding door and it was black and white and you have to like, like spin
Wow.
it. Like it's not even like, there's no remote control or
I
anything.
wasn't expecting this to have a real answer. I do not remember
Yeah.
that.
Honestly, yeah. We didn't have enough money to be able to afford a TV.
I know some people, like friends of mine, had TVs with doors that you would open up like that.
I've seen that as well.
Like a TV cabinet sort of situation.
Wait, how does it open? Does it slide open or does it open like outwards?
Like a door, like an
Outwards.
outward door, right? Yeah.
No, it doesn't
seen
open
that.
outwards. My one's like you slide it and then you slide it to the side.
It's like a Japanese door.
What would be the rationale of having a TV in a cabinet?
I'm gonna
To
look
hide it
up.
when you're not watching it if you don't want like a big bulky TV.
So it's like whilst you're watching porn, if your mum comes in, you can slide the door and close it up.
I guess with Riley's TV that might be a thing.
Because like sometimes like, have you ever had those situations where you're trying to turn the TV off, but you're doing it hastily? And so like you press the remote button like a few times, and so it's like off, on, off, on. Like that,
Yeah.
a physical door would bypass that problem.
But it wouldn't fix the sound though. It wouldn't fix all of the moaning. you would
That is
probably
true.
hear, yeah.
But you could, I don't know, you could lie
I will
about
say,
that.
Sophie, I probably don't watch as much porn in the family living room as you do because that's where these TVs are usually stationed.
But that's the best place to watch it, Liam. It's part of the thrill.
Part of the thrill, yeah. The thrill of, yeah.
That's
get
true. You know what I mean? It's like it's forbidden. Someone might.
Oh,
walk in
this
on
is
you.
taboo.
I was like, ooh.
I'm watching porn in the family room with the cabinet television. Anything could happen.
Your life turns into a porn movie.
Oh, the tape is stuck.
There's a door knock. Who could be at the door? You got some pizza for me?
Yep. Or do you have a plumbing problem?
A hot pizza delivery chick? What?
Or is it the pool cleaner? I don't know. I get my days confused.
I just sent it to the chat. What it
Your
looks
TV.
Like. That was our first TV.
What is this? Oh my
Honestly.
god.
Exactly.
This is like World War II technology.
I really hope like people that are watching this could actually relate, or I'm gonna feel
No, they're
very,
all dead,
very
Riley.
old.
They don't know how YouTube works. They're going to need their grandchildren to assist them to turn YouTube on and find our podcast.
So there's like obviously an on button and like a knob to change channels. Is that volume controls? Like underneath that?
Yeah, on the side, yeah, they're literal.
I don't remember much because I'm pretty sure it only ever worked like a few times, and then we just never watched TV
I can
Wow.
understand if that's your only TV. Oh, yeah.
until we got our first color TV.
It feels like very 1950s-y sort of thing. Television's just being introduced to the household in like fancy cabinets sort of vibes. Because it would probably be a big centerpiece of the house at that point.
Oh
Now
yeah.
that I'm looking at it, I kind of get the appeal of having a TV cabinet. I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind that. I would like that because then you could store things on top and it could be like, yeah, I think it's actually very efficient.
The funny thing is, you see that color of it.
Yeah?
Yeah, actually, when I think of it, I actually remember that's what it looks like. Like my flashbacks in black and white. I'm that old.
Thinking back to your childhood and it's all a grainy, jittery film.
It's not until he gets to university.
I will say that Chantel and I, we share an aesthetic. We do not like how TVs look. And the two of you will know that there isn't actually a television in our lounge room because we don't want a weird, bulky piece of technology kind of ruining the vibes. But what we have thought of doing is there's a particular television that Samsung makes. It's called The Frame, and it looks like an art gallery frame, which you can just mount on your wall. It is super flat, and you can set it to gallery mode. So it just puts like pictures of famous paintings up there, and it kind of dims it a bit, and it just makes it look like a picture hanging on your wall that you can change into a TV at a certain point, which is
I
much
didn't
more
know that.
appealing to me than just having a TV. Like if I was going to have a television, which we never watch TV anymore, it's all YouTube basically. If we were going to have one, I would want it to blend in with the house and kind of be hidden when we're not using it.
Could you set what artworks feature as the gallery though? Because
Yes.
oh, that's good.
You could basically put anything, like you could put a one-piece color spread on there if that's what you wanted.
Yeah.
And it is.
Why wouldn't you? Yeah.
It's the only logical choice.
Yeah.
I've always seen the appeal of this system. It's nice to be able to disconnect and not have like a chunky piece of technology as
Yeah, just
like your
jutting out.
centerpiece. Yeah, because unless you have a very high-tech house, it's not particularly going to blend well with most things.
I quite like this aesthetic as well. Just, you know, always need a bit more storage space. Kind of dig it, Riles. You were actually trendy. You never know. Things come back in style and we might actually have a TV cabinet again in the future. And you could say, I remember this.
It seems very low to the floor, like you would have to be sitting on the
Yep.
floor to watch it.
It is like that. It's very low. So that's literally the height of it. Watch out for corded phones. You know, corded phones are making a comeback.
Riley's famous last words.
Should invest all of my money.
Do people even have home phones anymore?
I
Good question.
have never had a home phone since moving out of the family house. I've never had a home. I have a home phone number because they make you get numbers when you apply for like internet and stuff.
Yeah.
But never a phone.
Me neither. Even my parents don't use their home phone anymore. I think that stopped when I was in maybe like high school.
My family overseas still have it because my grandma literally lives next to the phone and she just calls all her friends. That's literally all
As
she
in
does
like
all day.
a public phone?
Phone, like an actual like house phone, like a corded phone at
It's
home.
just the way that you said she
corded
lives
as
next
well.
to the home made me think that there was her home and then there was like a phone booth next to her.
Oh,
She
no,
was
no, no. I'm
always
just
in.
like saying she's just always next to her phone.
Right. As if the village that you come from only has one phone and your grandma happens to live next to it.
It's like prison.
She has a monopoly over phone time use.
Everybody lines up.
They have to pay her.
Be like, hurry up, Patrice. God damn it.
There's gonna be someone watching this gonna be like, my name's Patrice.
Oh, yeah. I apologize to any Patrice. I didn't mean it that way. I'm so sorry.
I don't. He did. And stop hogging the phone.
Yes.
Hurry up, Patrice.
Patrice. What's another name of someone you hate?
Liam.
I knew one of
Liam.
you was going to say that.
Hates a
I
hates
knew
a
it was
very
probably
strong
going to
word.
be Sophie. We'll talk about this off camera, Sophie. Save the drama for something else.
I think people like the drama.
I agree with you. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I have despised every other Liam that I have ever met. There has never been a good one, and I am probably not the exception, is the conclusion I've come to.
Are you sure you're not just being biased?
Maybe I am, but also no, because they've all been utter dicks.
Yeah, you did share your story about a Liam who bullied you.
Did I do
Oh,
that on
yeah.
the podcast, or did I do that?
It was
Was
on
it
the
a podcast?
podcast.
Yeah.
Thinking it might have been a member special.
No, I think it was in the podcast.
Yeah.
Yes,
when
yes,
we
it
were
was a
talking
podcast.
about how anime can be mistaken for hentai.
Yeah, that was another Liam. And when other Liam discovered that this Liam watched anime, every time I would walk into the classroom, he would just make hentai girl noises at me.
Hi,
Yeah, it's something like that. It would be mostly inaudible noises like, and then all of a sudden he'd throw in tentacles or something like that.
Tentacles kun.
Tentacles. Tentacle summer.
That's it. That's the one.
But yeah, he's not the only one. Like, legitimately, every other Liam I've met, horrible person.
Have you met a lot of Liams? Because Liams is guess Liam's a pretty common name. I would think that I would have met more Sophies in my life because Sophie is also a very popular name, or at least a common name. And I haven't met many Sophies.
I've met a lot. In fact, you're one of 3 Sophies that I currently know.
I don't think I've ever
Okay.
met.
You're the only Liam I know in my life.
Well, you know, a couple of the Sophies got there before you.
Yeah, I thought I was special.
No, you're the bronze medal of Sophies. Riley?
What about you, Riley?
You're the only Riley I know. You're the gold medal. of
Yeah, I've
Rileys.
never met a Riley.
Yeah, you're the only Riley I know too, actually.
I'll
No,
tell you guys a
Riley.
story. I don't know if I want to add this to the podcast, but I might need to cut it out.
Nope, you're telling it. It's a funny story.
So yeah, so one time I was at a club and I started talking to this girl.
Charity.
She was American. You know, we were chatting, we were clicking. Sort of like felt a bit of a connection there. So, tried to go for it. And as we were about to, she went, sorry, what's your name? And I was like, Riley. She's like, yeah, that's my sister's name. That's my baby sister's name. I don't know. She was probably just like saying it as an excuse because I probably just misread it. But yeah, fair play.
Yeah, you could have said anything. Like, you could have picked a really manly name like Frederick. Oh, that's my baby sister's name.
That's my baby sister's name.
That's an interesting thing, though, because I have that problem. If I was to meet an attractive woman who had like my mother or my aunt or my grandmother's name, it would be an immediate no.
Oh, yeah.
No, cannot go there.
I would agree if it was my dad's name. I don't think I could do it either.
But not your mum's?
My mom?
Yeah, that'd be
not
weird.
so much.
Like, imagine you go home to their place and then you're in bed and they're like, say my name. And I was like,
I'd rather not.
I'd rather not.
Can you say a different name?
Would it really bother you that much? Actually, because you could actually just
Yes, it will bother
come
me.
up with a nickname, right? And you could just call them by something
Because
else.
any nickname you come up with is probably a nickname that your like family member has also had, because there's only so much you can do with different names.
But like, what if you could just come up with something that doesn't even involve her name, just so that you can call her something different? Is there really no way that you could just
Seems
bypass
like a
it?
bit of a screw around.
Like, you could start calling her by her last name, for example.
Start calling her Duchess.
Duchess?
Yeah.
Oh, Duchess.
The Duchess. Oh, you're the queen of my heart.
Is that how you treat the ladies, Riley? They're all queens.
That's how all ladies wants to be treated. Am I right?
As a Duchess.
As a duchess.
Yeah, you've got the secret recipe for pussy, don't you?
You can call me
Secret
Sophie, the Duchess of Sydney.
It's a bit too formal for my liking.
Is that how you guys like to be treated? Do you guys like to be called dukes?
The Duke of Sydney.
The Duke of Sydney.
The Duke of Sydney.
Liam Hardcastle.
Sophie, though, to throw it back to you, so if you did meet an attractive duke who had your father's name, would you be willing to go down that path and just give that dude a nickname, like, say, Daddy?
Father?
Papa?
Papa?
Come to Papi?
Papa?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know, like, I think it would be definitely weird to keep calling him by his name if he shared it with my dad. But I don't think if there was a real connection, his name alone would really be the thing that stops me from pursuing a future relationship.
Imagine the moment where you introduce him to your father, though. Like, Frederick, this is also Frederick.
Yeah, but that's just funny.
Yeah, funny and not Oedipus, what's the opposite? An Electra sort of way.
Fair enough, like, it does get very Freudian now. I don't know, apart from, like, situations in the bedroom, I can't picture it being too weird.
Yeah, but the situations in the bedroom are usually how these sorts of things start, so that's where, like, the initial red flag would show. Like, if you have a genuine connection with the person, the name alone is not the deal breaker, but to me, it's a significant detractor. It's a problem that does need to be overcome.
Fair enough. Like, it's probably something that would have stopped you from pursuing a deeper relationship in the first place, maybe.
It's something that would have stopped me pursuing a shallow relationship, actually. Like, sort of like the excuse that Riley's Duchess made. Like, oh, no, I can't
She
do
didn't
that.
get
No.
elevated to the status of Duchess because she made that lame excuse.
Oh, is that how it is, Riley? Do you only get to be the Duchess when you take the Duke?
Yes.
Wow, I see how it is.
What are all the other females then?
Peasants.
We're all just peasants.
No, you're all
Peasants
queens.
in
You know what I
Riley's
mean?
life. Oh, we're all queens, but not Duchess.
There's one that encompasses, everything that is holy and royal and grand. And it's the one you choose to end up with.
There are 5 ranks in descending order. Duke, Marquis, Earl, Viscount, and Baron. All of those are male, aren't they? Baroness. You just need to add
Baroness.
like an S
That's
to
it.
everything.
An earless.
The Earless.
Is an earless an actual thing?
I don't know. But I like Baron, and I like Baroness.
You know what, Liam? Now that you say it, I could definitely picture you being a baron. Duke's
you.
a bit much, but I could picture you being a baron. I didn't mean that as a compliment.
You're not noble enough to be a duke, but perhaps
no.
a lowly baron.
Baron,
somewhere.
yeah, I could picture you with your top hat.
Someone's going to draw Liam as a baron now. One of our listeners.
Please do. We've had some interesting fan art so far,
Yes.
as we've shared in previous episodes. But Sophie, did you mention Countess? Because I quite like Countess as a title. I think that
Countess.
sounds refined.
I don't know, it sounds very Dracula-y.
It does a bit. Maybe
Yeah,
it's
it
because of the word count.
Very gothic. Yeah, it sounds very gothic. All right, I'm gonna be called Duchess Sophie from now on. I'm never gonna be
No, you don't get to do that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Queen.
Change your channel name.
Peasant.
Actually, you are not the first person to call me a peasant, Liam. Gonna out my sister here. When we were younger, my sister came up with names. Not only did my older sister capitalize what Disney songs we were and were not allowed to sing, she also assigned names for each of us. And when we each first got our mobile phones, she named us something different on her phone, as well as how she named herself on our mobile phones. And with herself, she gave herself the title Princess. She was Princess and then her name. My younger sister got Maid.
Maid,
She was
wow.
It's a
Maid.
big step down.
And I was Peasant. I was Peasant Sophie.
Because you're the middle one, right? I would have thought you would get maid and then the younger one would get peasant. So you're clearly the least favorite in this. I mean, I guess that makes sense because you got all the shitty Disney songs as well.
That is true. And the shitty Disney princess.
Your sisters were brutal.
Just the one.
You got like sandwiched by sister brutality.
Sister dynamics. You have sisters, Riley?
I grew up with 2 older sisters. Jesus Christ, it was difficult. I forgot the camera's on. Hey, just in case you're watching.
That came very real. That felt
Very
very
real.
real.
I grew up with no siblings and I cannot identify with any struggles.
Any close cousins that irked you?
Not that we didn't see our cousins all that often, like a couple of times every year. My family's very interesting because we kind of land in the middle of the spectrum. We have a side of very extremely wealthy cousins, and we also have a side of not so wealthy cousins, and we sort of act as the middle people.
So you would be the maid in this situation.
I suppose so, according to your older sister's hierarchy, yes.
Yeah.
I would be in the maid position.
I guess a different question for you then, Liam, is did it get lonely or did you wish that you had siblings when you were growing up?
Not once.
Really,
Oh, right,
not
yeah.
once.
That's interesting because so I grew up with 2 sisters, but I also have a younger brother. So we have different mothers, same sperm, different eggs.
Brother from another mother.
We didn't grow up together. We met each other when I was 11 at the time, and he was about 6 years old. He told me that he's always longed for like siblings growing up because he's always felt lonely growing up as a single child.
Oh.
Okay. I was pretty alright with it. When I was a child, I was often playing with friends. Like, there were neighborhood kids that you would just go outside and see as if they were siblings, I suppose. And when I got into high school, I stopped wanting to see anyone. So being alone in my misery was actually a pretty good deal.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice,
I can
mate.
understand that. I remember when I went...
Works for you, man.
Yeah, I mean, I can relate to that. I remember when I was in my angsty stage in high school, I'd go home and I'd just shut myself out from the world, which is hard to do when you share a room with your sister.
How long did you share a room for?
I shared a room with my younger sister until I was in year 11.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's a long time.
That is
But,
a long time for no privacy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the house that I grew up in only had 3 rooms, and so my parents shared one room.
And the princess obviously gets one room, and the maid has to bunk with the peasant. This is completely understandable.
I was lucky that I was allowed in the house at all. They could have kept me in the backyard, and they thought that they were doing me a favor. So really, I'm the ungrateful one, asking for some privacy.
In the hierarchy of your family, obviously the princess gets a room, then your parents, the king and queen regent, should
Yes.
have their own room. And then whatever's left over, just cram the others into the help.
Sophie's just there. All the leftovers.
Please, sir, can I have some more?
Well,
Yep. Yeah. So
that has been an
others?
amazing insight into the psychology of Sophie. Gonna go ahead and wrap this up now. Thank you so much, Riley, for revealing yourself
Thank
to
you
everyone.
for having me.
Say hi, Riley, in the comments.
Hi,
And,
back.
Hi,
to everyone.
Riley.
we also have extra special members videos if you become a member. I don't know what that membership funds today. I think it's Manu some therapy so that he can stop fidgeting with the microphone, as your comments often tell him to do.
Oh, we're just continuously kicking him whilst he can't defend himself today.
guy's not
Absolutely.
here.
Oh, man.
He's not here. We can do it.
Leave him
Manu, fix your
alone.
fidgeting. I don't know. Fix your hair. Fix your teeth. Fix everything. Just
shaving.
go fix everything.
No shaving. Yeah.
But yeah, you can become a member, you can get extra content, and it's pretty good sometimes. I'm not going to say always. There was that one time where it was a bit questionable, but the others have all been great.
They've all been great.
That one time where we were just like naming countries was probably less great.
Again, again, when is that the one when Manu kept fucking up?
Oh yeah, we're gonna continue to kick him. Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me, and I apologize if
pleasure.
this episode was less than satisfactory.
No, but just remember that you're all queens in his eyes.
And some of you could even be a duchess,
A duchess.
which I believe is a downgrade, but we won't talk about that.
Hey, as long as you're not a pheasant.
It's true, as long as you're not a filthy peasant. But thank you so much, and we will see you next time. Say goodbye, people.
Bye bye,
Bye.
people.